So yeah, let me crack into it. I decided today to kind of compile our notes, from both of our announcements this week. Today was a very exciting day for us to finally push out Boombox. It's been in the works for quite some time. There were just certain pieces that we wanted to make sure we had, namely the additions. The additions were really what's held us up, I'll say, for a little while here. But everything seems to be fairly smooth right now. It is, I'll say, a very interesting, social experiment. I mean, I'm sure I'll kind of give you guys, little reports here and there with our alpha, from like VC, DAO, and stuff like that. But just kind of going through and looking already, there's been somebody that's actually using a Fox PFP that's put up copywritten music that we have to kind of handle and take down, which is not unexpected. It's one of the things that we talked about beforehand of trying to figure out, is there an easy way for us to kind of screen that before they get uploaded or after they get uploaded. So it's going to be a process that we improve, but I thought it was just very interesting that we've already had that happen in legitimately less than 12 hours, or actually it was probably closer to 6 by the time that it was actually sent over our way. But yeah, super stoked to be working with the guys. I know they used to be, or formerly known as Hooli Gang. They now kind of officially just go by Boombox, is the way they're marketing themselves. But New Dumb Money and your boy Jim are the two main contacts that we have, or the co-founders, I'll say, for Boombox. And yeah, and so we're a partner with them, and the development side for creating Boombox, and doing a little bit of the marketing side, as we jump in spaces, and chill Foxes, and kind of what Foxes really have been up to. It's one of the bigger pushes that we've had, so pretty stoked for that. And hopefully we get more and more people on there. I've seen a lot of interest within Foxes. I've seen a lot of interest on Twitter. I know just talking with people, even since NFT NYC, making good contacts there. That there are many folks. Wookie is quite interested. We had Dramola actually had tweeted out at me and Foxes, for the marketplace. And yeah, just looking to kind of see what it turns into. I think the music scene is slightly tapped, but I think it still is a very untapped market, that we're starting to hopefully see become a bigger trend in the space. And we want to be a part of it. We saw that the guys over at Hooli Gang had a solid vision for getting a music marketplace up and running, and their previous engagements didn't really work out, and so we wanted to kind of be a part of it, and so we're looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of learnings from it, a lot of kind of give and take, and that's part of what we're here for. It's a very new space in general, NFTs specifically, and it's going to take things like this to kind of move it forward and to kind of innovate a little bit more, and provide solid value back, primarily to the music industry with what we've created, but really for anyone that has an interest, and wants to kind of create on their own. I know we've got a lot of talented, musicians in our community, so hopefully this can kind of bridge that gap and provide a new outlet for people to be creative, and hopefully be able to generate revenue from, create a name for themselves, get a little bit of a market behind them. I know there's plans to kind of leverage different communities and DAOs, to kind of get some of their community members, active in the music scene or that have a music interest, and to kind of, showcase different communities and their talents. And I think that'll be kind of huge as well. It's kind of a little bit down the road, but, worth kind of throwing out there as, hopefully it does become more and more popular within the whole NFT space. And, we want to be a part of it, so pretty stoked. But if you guys have, feedback on the site, feel free to still drop that our way. you know, DMs are probably best so it doesn't get too buried, because I would prefer like our DAO suggestions and such that we have kind of aimed more towards Foxes, but always open for feedback and suggestions, you know, really for any product that we have our hands on. So I'll kind of throw that out there. DMs are always welcome. If we're in chat and you see us chatting, you know, feel free to hit us in chat as well. But as it stands right now, we aren't making anything separate within our Discord for Boombox. And I believe they already have a Discord set up and all that fun stuff. So feel free to jump over there. And if they don't, I'm sure they will shortly, to kind of also provide feedback there. It filters its way back to us in the long run. So wherever it's easiest for you, I would say, to kind of start there. But yeah, that's I'll say one of the bigger pushes that we had on our roadmap 2.0. So very, very excited to be done with that, and very excited to kind of see what the guys at Boombox, you know, really do with it, and how much we can kind of help to move it forward. So definitely looking forward to that. Jumping into our normal items that we kind of have. So as far as quality of life updates go, we had 3 this week. So first, Foxy Lens now has your rental history. That's been requested by quite a few people, and it's very helpful in my opinion, you know, from our sites to kind of have like that history tracking. It's been one of the better items that I love to see from Chest Redemption. You know, I don't know anyone else that has gone there just to track it and see what they've gotten. It's been helpful too, because we had one person today where it didn't actually burn their chests properly, so they didn't get the reward. So they were able to kind of just show us, you know, what they had gotten from their history. We can kind of pull it up as well, and we were able to send them back those same rewards. So that's been quite nice. That's a node issue. It is something that we are working on getting resolved. It might take a couple of weeks to get there, but you know, it's not very frequent. So you know, in the meantime, we're kind of just handling and fixing, you know, as we can manually, until we get a better fix in place. Is there a question? I'll take that as a no. Okay. But if anyone does ever have questions, feel free to interrupt me. I like to kind of keep these informal. And also, if you want to throw a question somewhere, just ping me. And or actually, we have the VC chat, don't we? I'll open that up. If you guys have any questions, throw that in there. Let's see, to the next one. Foxy Bid now loads all listings for collections compared to just 60. So you can check out all of the listings that come through there in Foxy Bid, which is nice and convenient. And the last one, because I think there was somebody, I don't know if it was one person or if there were a couple of people so far, that had sent foxes that they had borrowed onto fame-only missions. And I think in the one case it was because the fox was never sent back to the person, like they never recalled them from being lent out. And so the person just sent them on a fame-only mission. But you can't send borrowed foxes on fame-only missions. So when you rent a fox, it's going to be for a specific mission for a duo trio, and you can send them on those missions. And so just as a heads up for folks that are borrowing, as a just in case, as I know it might have been a UI issue for the people or person that had done that last time. But yeah, by default, it won't let you, or not by default anymore, but it won't let you send foxes on fame-only missions that you've rented, only your own foxes that you own. That's the quality of life updates that we had. As far as our missions went live at noon today. For those of you that might not have seen them, the two that really kind of stick out are the collaboration mission that we have with the Demofied Foxes. So I'll apologize there too up front. I know when Dev had posted in the announcement that it just said DGen Dummy on it, and then when we posted it up on Twitter, it also said DGen Dummy, so I changed that tweet to be Demofied Foxes. And when Dev had posted the missions today too, it said a dummy on there, and so we changed it to Dummified Foxes. So it is a fox, any level, 20 plus, and a dummified fox for that collab mission. So their original Degen dummy collection will not work for that mission. It does require one of the dummified foxes. So there can only be up to 777 of those missions that go live, assuming that everyone in our community owns those dummified foxes. Was there a question on that too? I don't know if I heard someone ask a question. Nope. Okay. The other bigger one was the raid. So the raid was open for 80 Halo Foxes, level 28 plus. That filled up. I am not 100% sure if Dev is planning on doing a second one of those. I don't believe that's the case. I know I mentioned in previous weeks that we're working on setting it up so that way we can get as many people in a certain time frame, like a 24-hour time frame, into raids specifically that are eligible. We just haven't had the time to kind of convert that over yet. The main issue, I think I might have mentioned it before, is the loading time when it comes down to the foxes that are loaded up there. So basically what we have to do is set it up so that you don't see all of the foxes that are on that raid unless you push a button and it kind of like refreshes and shows you all the foxes that are in that specific mission. So it purely comes down to a loading time for that specific raid, and that's why we've capped it at, I think at most 100. This one is 80. But we are working to make sure that in the future we kind of open that up to be a bit more available for folks that have a fox that's eligible that can go on that raid but might not have made the time window for when we open up our missions. The rest of the missions fairly standard. Hody level 20 plus, Captain level 24 plus, a Pirate level 26 plus, and a Pirate Den. The yellow T-shirt or Bitcoin shirt level 22 plus, and a Vault Den. And then the duo mission, 2 sweater, turtlenecks, or scarf level 18 plus. And then the last one we had is a Monster Trainer and a Monster Trainer Den. Monster Trainer has to be level 24 plus. So those are all the missions that are out this week, along with, of course, the Fame Only missions. So if anybody wants to throw their foxes in the Fame Only, you certainly have that ability as well. And I will say, too, especially for folks that do have quite a few foxes, it can be a little time-consuming to kind of maximize, or I'll say optimize, not maximize, optimize the way you put your foxes out on those specific missions. So that's it's just one of those items where it just takes some time. I think that's part of the fun each week is figuring out all the foxes that you have and what you don't have and trying to buy. And I know there are a couple of items that we mentioned too in like our PSAs for dens, because I know the den component for us adding them in there can make it confusing. And I know in one of the spaces we had this week that I tried to, with the bat community, I tried to explain, it on a bit more of like a technical level for how it works, and I'm sure it just went over everyone's head. But in general, for like the PSA for dens, the exterior counts like no matter what for whatever the mission is. So if you have a vault den and a vault den's required, that's always going to count. Any den that's not a vault den can count if it scores above 200 and you have a vault interior on it, or if you have a unique interior, whether that's a Monkey DAO interior, an Orange Origin room, a DGOT interior. Any of those interior rooms count uniquely for any mission when you have those. So as long as the score is above 200, of course, and with adding the rooms on, we'll bump the score up at the same time. So you definitely have like that ability of getting it beyond level 200 or beyond the score of 200 quite easily. I think with any den that's out there, I'd have to double check and see if some of the lower rarity ones that have a minimum amount of rooms to it can get above 200. But I believe based off the score additions you can get for the unique rooms that you can go above 200, no problem. So And yeah, we also mentioned, that you can buy those unique rooms at our marketplace that we have on our famous Foxes. No, it's just the Den marketplace specifically. Everything there is in Foxy, and unique rooms are 50K Foxy a piece. So worth kind of throwing that out there for anyone that's interested. And then the other thing too that's worth mentioning, you'd have to look up the specific room itself, but some of them you can also find on the token market. Orange Origin, as an example, I know you can search through and find that on there. Sometimes people will post that for Foxy. Sometimes people will post it for Sol, or maybe one or the other. So I'd always suggest checking in there, or if people have extra Orange Origin rooms, if you want to kind of see what the market looks like for that, I highly recommend kind of checking out our token market as well, as I recently had purchased an Orange Origin room off there, and I also grabbed a den that had one that the floor price is actually quite low on it at the time. But you can search through the interior rooms on Magic Eden pretty easily. You could just go in there and look up the interior number 2 room, or 3 room, or 4th room, or 5th room, or 6th room, and just check and see if there's an Orange Origin in there in order to kind of search through and find it. So I'll apologize if some people were trying to keep that alpha to themselves, for others that potentially list not knowing. But it definitely is helpful for folks that are looking to obtain those dens and to kind of see where they're priced at, on the market. And the last change I think I actually have on here is that we added in today the ability for you to use the interior rooms as a one-time burn for a mission. So as an example, if you don't have a den, but you have a for the one that's just off the top of my head, but the Vault Den with the yellow Bitcoin shirt Fox. If you don't have a Vault Den, but you do have a Vault Interior, you can use that as a one-time burn to send that Fox on a mission. So that room does get burnt. It's a one-time use. And, if people just don't have a den or a unique room or anything along those lines, they don't want to buy a den, you can send that Fox out on that mission and you just won't get that room back. But there is a message in there that basically, says if you have a den and you have the ability to add the room to it, that's suggested over doing it as a one-time burn. It's really kind of the start for us adding in, additional items and such that would kind of be required for certain missions. We haven't gotten that all ironed out yet. We're still, mainly focused on getting the other raids and such in place. But we're looking at kind of that consumable or requirement item or something along those lines for specific missions. So this is kind of the first way of us getting there. And, these den rooms are rewards, from chests at a higher rate than, some of the other prizes that we have. It's actually second highest compared to Foxy. And so it's just another way that, to kind of create a little bit of a market for the interior rooms for folks that have gotten them and might be interested in selling them, or someone interested in buying them. And I know too on our space that I have with the folks from that, when you look at, and I know we don't have a den requirement for every single mission, but when you look at the totals, we've got 15,554 plus Foxes, plus everything that's in the Friends and Foes collection, and there's only 3,000 dens. So this really just kind of adds another layer to folks that don't have dens or have sent all their dens out on missions, in order for them to be able to, get involved in those specific missions by just burning a den token that they might have gotten from a raid, or they might trade somebody or something, or a mission. They might be able to trade somebody for it. So it kind of just, keeps our ecosystem in check and provides a little bit of value, for those individual rooms. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. Hopefully, some folks, I'll say, will test it out and let us know what they think. The one thing that I will say too that someone tried to do earlier is they tried to use the same den room. They tried to add the same den room to the same den. So like they had I think it was a spy den that by default comes with a spy interior, and they tried to add another spy interior to it, and I don't believe the system lets you do that, or it shouldn't let you do that, primarily because it would have no use for it. But I guess, if there's feedback from anyone else that thinks differently, that they should be able to add the same kind of interior room, I'd be open to it. I don't know. I haven't heard from others that would be interested in adding the same kind of interior room to the same kind of den. But just worth kind of throwing out there. Alright, let's see here. So that was the main items that I wanted to cover. Let me jump in here and check our chat out. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, someone commented they were the ones sending out for fame only. That's fine. Putting max fame missions up top. I got Rug this week. Now looking at the missions. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I know that's actually for my wife, but putting the missions by fame order from highest to lowest, I think that makes the most sense. That way people can kind of optimize a bit easier. So that's something I'll ask Dev about. Let's see, question here. Are there any monster trainer dens? Does the trait need to match? There are monster trainer dens. They look like like a Pokemon style house. I'm trying to think of what we modeled it after. I think it was after sorry, I'm getting feedback. Who am I getting feedback from? Brink. Thanks, Brink. Yeah, we modeled it after one of the Poke Centers. And yeah, so you can pop around, you can check them out. There actually are ones too for the monster trainer dens that have a like Pikachu tail sticking out. I think it's just called Monster Trainer Den with tail or something like that. That's like more of the rare side. I actually don't know the total amount of those in the total collection, but I know that's one of the more rare ones that exists out there. Any plans for a Valet DAO den? I don't think so. I mean, so all of the dens that we had created, I think, are the ones that we've created so far. I think when it comes down to Valet, like we might just make like a certain den if we wanted to, a certain den required for Valet. For me, I mean, I think the Solana den would kind of fit in with the Valet aesthetic, unless I'm off base and there's a better one, especially because it's got like the more racer car to it as compared to, I think the only other one that has a car in it is Safari, and that to me doesn't feel like Valet. But no, that's a good suggestion. Let me jump in here. Fox chat, let's see. Will 101s get 25% boost level 40? They do, Pug. They have to be, I think you just, as soon as you get above level 40, I believe it just unlocks for them. So I would say to double check that, if you don't mind when you complete a mission. But yes, they should count towards that 25% boost above level 40. Jumping into Federation, Kaz is asking, could we keep the mission list summary at the top right while missions are active, make it easier to skim current missions for when I try to maximize any missioning? Yeah, that's good feedback, Kaz. Let me drop this to Dev because I think that's a good suggestion. Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion, especially, I mean, I guess it really would depend, too, if, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but if we were to make missions go from highest fame to lowest fame, would that change anything as far as, like, the optimization or, like, skimming or anything like that for trying to picking out, like, your missions for your foxes? I feel like I feel like that might kill two birds with one stone, because then you would just go from top order down and like just send foxes away on those like top missions, um, unless I'm not looking at it correctly. Well, Kaz is responding. Let's see, someone pinged me in alpha. Oh, wow, Muns. That's very interesting, Muns. I'm kind of curious. Where'd you grab that from? That looks very close to what we actually had created, which is quite funny. Pokemon Center. Yeah, I know I'm a noob for that. To be helpful to pair duo trio missions. Yeah, that's fair feedback, as yeah, that's fair. Because you're still gonna have to do some level of optimization. If there's a duo mission or trio mission that has less fame than what the highest is, you're still gonna have to go through and make sure you can do those required ones, or else you kind of screw yourself over. So that makes sense. All right. Yes, all domains seem to be a real popular item over the weekend. Hopefully people are not losing out on a lot on those.
800 people on DAO VC. Nobody talking.
What's that? 800 people in DAO VC. Yeah, that checks out. I'm used to that.
Yo, what up?
Hey.
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm currently moving, but if it's still here when I'm done, I'll talk.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Oh, no, I don't have nothing. He just mentioned that no one was talking, so I decided to step up and say, hello, mate.
I appreciate you. Thanks for jumping up.
Hey, it's a Wangman here. I actually had a question.
Sure, what's up, Wayne?
Hey, I'm just curious about the Foxy dummy. I grabbed one for the mission because the mission was sweet. When it comes to like the collaboration with them, are they planning to do with the Foxy dummies on any side? Are you guys going to do any further missions down the line? I don't know if it's kind of like been talked about or anything like that, or is this kind of like a one-off?
No, that's a great question. So we've done quite a few like collab missions with other projects in the past that we've really only done them as kind of like a one-off deal so far. But really I kind of see some level of value to kind of maintaining like those collaborations between us and other projects. So I know as we're kind of like building this along, right? Like I think there's going to be opportunity for us to open the floodgates, so to speak, and kind of give a lot more variety when it comes down to missions, like maybe having like multiple collaboration missions in a week or something along those lines. As it stands right now, we don't have like official plans for that, but I wouldn't want to state it as like financial advice to like recommend like selling off your dummified box after, and maybe sometime in the future, we fire up missions again that would have like a collaboration with them. But what I would say is that like we already have this contract built for them. I think it would make sense if in sometime in the future we do kind of run this collaboration mission again. I think it makes sense really for any of the collaboration missions that we've done. For the ruse, for geckos, D-gods, we have a ton of them. Penguins, we've got so many collaboration missions that maybe we decide one week we're just going to do like all collab missions and just rehash all the collab missions that we've had with other projects. So I would definitely say there's always the potential of us to do it again in the future. So do with that as you'd like, but no official plans as of right now.
Okay, cool. I was just thinking something along the lines like if you're holding a few of these collaborations, because I know you guys airdropped the dummified ones to holders that reach tier 1, and I thought it would be kind of a cool incentive to like, instead of just like them going away the dodo when it comes to like having a collab thing, is like if you hold multiple of the collabs or something like that, then it gives you a chance to get the airdrop or something like that. just my own like kind of thoughts, right? Because it kind of seems kind of because they're cool. I like the art of the dummified foxes, and I think they're cool. And it would be kind of a shame to have them just kind of die off as a one-off afterwards.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. That's really one of the reasons why like we even said yes, that we were kind of open to it. You know, I know it seemed kind of more popular with Infected Mob, and I'm trying to think of the other one off the top of my head that had done these collections that were kind of like collabs. Degen, Gothic Degens. And so, you know, we actually were talking to Gothic Degens first because we were interested in doing something with them, and we still might do something with Gothic Degens, but I like the collab art. I mean, you know, even if at the end of the day, right, they're airdropped for free to a certain amount of people, or depending on kind of how we gamify on our side for our allocation, I think it is fun just to get it and have it, and, you know, if there is some level of utility that we can kind of bake in from like the missions and such, like I think that's pretty cool on our side, just because we're, I'll say, a lot more flexible than probably most other projects when it comes down to being able to bake it into our ecosystem. And yeah, I agree with you too. They created the Dummified Fox for Foxy General as kind of just a sample of what they could do, and I think they did a Naked Fox too. And I thought they looked cool. That, you know, it's got like, you know, it's not exactly 3D, you know, but it's got kind of that like 2.5D look to it, and I think they did a quite a good job, and they did a quick turnaround too. Their team, I think they did all of the individual attributes. They didn't do every attribute, so I'll throw that out there, but they did whatever set of attributes that they had created, and created the collection in a week, maybe a few days more, like 10 days, and airdropped it and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it was pretty sweet working with them, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I was just kind of curious like that, because I thought, yeah, like, because I noticed just how easy it is for you guys to implement things in and out and stuff like that. You've kind of reached that point. I just thought it would be a cool idea, because you have so many collaborations going on that it'd be an interesting concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, like, you know, their team was awesome to work with, and, you know, I think in general, I mean, even if it's not an art collab that we have, you know, between communities, like I said, with the others that we have collab missions with, I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of run those back as well, just to kind of rehash or rekindle some old flames that we've had with other communities.
Cool, man. Cool.
Awesome. So thanks for the feedback there, Wang. Let me see here if we got other questions, and also feel free if anybody has questions and wants to speak. I'll take speakers over reading any day. Yeah, and hopefully that answers Surfing's question of will collab missions circle back around, or with the same collab or not likely. The potential. Well, we haven't actually officially like really talked much about that, so. Let's see.
Oh yeah, thanks for taking out, by the way, the whole renting a fox and using it for fame only, because I feel like I had a part in that when I fucked up and did that entirely. rented a fox that was completely useless, and then realized I needed two, and then sent it on a fame only mission, and I was like, wow, this did not benefit me whatsoever.
Well, I was gonna say Resner also posted in our DAO VC chat that they were guilty of that too. So you're not alone. And also it's funny too, you know, that the social experiment that goes with renting foxes, and to see how much Foxy people want to get, and then how much they end up getting or changing their pricing to. I don't know what the most expensive fox has been so far that's gotten rented out successfully, but I know for me, when I go to scoop some up from the renting side, like I'm anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 Foxy is like my limit.
I lucked out, and I rented mine out for 3,000, and then rented another one out for 1,000 instantly, throwing that down the toilet because it was useless. Yeah. But I think it's a great system, man. I think it actually, I was blown away because I bought a fox and I was like, okay, cool. I didn't dive into your system too much, and then as soon as I bought one, I dove it deeper, and I totally dug the whole rental system. That makes it so valuable to both parties, right? Like getting that treasure chest. Or having your fox gain the fame, like it's beneficial either way, because, you know, maybe you don't have a mission that your guy can go out on, but it still has a use. So it was a great idea.
Yeah, thank you. No, and Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing with what we've really built, the ecosystem that we've really built, is that we have so much flexibility to kind of do all these crazy things, right? Like, and just use like our Foxy token for it. Like we don't, like and I know there is a level to where like you can go and buy Foxy if you wanted to, but that's not really the point with the way that we have like our leveling and like the really the auctions that we do, the raffles that we do, the lending and everything like that. It's all done via Foxy. Like it's kind of meant to kind of all really kind of fit together in like the use case for what you can do with our token. And we're certainly not like others where we're like trying to pump our token to like $1 million a piece, because that's just unrealistic. But yeah, it's just really fun to try and figure out ways of like doing fun things. Pugs, the person that was talking was Wang Man. So if you were asking about that earlier, the one thing too that I wanted to throw out there, I should have mentioned it earlier in the I'll say space, but in the VC, is that I was talking with Dev, and what we've decided to do too is via these VCs. I think I can like share my screen. So what we're gonna do is we'll do like 3 chests that we'll pick like people at random, and I'll open them on my side, and we'll send you guys out like those gifts. So we wanted to try to incentivize people to kind of come around. And at this point, for those of you that have stuck around with listening to mostly me for the past 35 minutes, you guys will get rewarded. No, you're fine. It'll go off. All right, yeah. No, sorry, my wife switched her audio over to her laptop, and so I was listening to myself in the background. Yeah, but yeah, I'm let me just double check like other questions in here. Let's see, Federation. Next round of sneaks. Ooh, yeah, I guess we could probably do a couple of sneaks for tier 2s. I guess we could start off with that. That'd be kind of fun. But I'll still open up to any questions if anyone has any questions. And let me poke around on our page for some sneaks in the meantime. Alright, let's see. While that's loading up, we'll do 2. We'll do 1 head trait, 1 body trait. I don't know the best way of kind of picking people. I guess I could probably do a random number generator. Let me see how many we have here. We have a ton of people. Alright, 14 times 3 is what, 42, and 1 is 43. Alright, let's see, 43. Bear with me, I like randomness. Alright, 2, 3, 4. So number 30. Alright, Requiem. Ah, you're number 30. That's probably rigged. So Rec, you get to pick body or hat for tier 2. Hopefully Rec's around too. If Rec's not around, then I'll let someone else, and if you can throw it in DAO VC chat, that'll be easiest. But if not, just ping me and I'll find you. In the meantime, too, got a question from Busto in Federation. So how can the community help Boombox grow? Realistically, with Boombox, I think it comes down to probably more of the social engagement side, and really kind of showcasing, maybe if you find, artists that you like in there. Sorry, someone was talking. Okay, cool. Artists you like in there, anything about like UI UX, anything on like the licensing side, there's going to be other ways that like they're also going to kind of market themselves. So maybe, you know, liking, retweeting what kind of Boombox is doing, or, you know, it's really kind of just showcasing and spreading the word. I think that the biggest thing is really going to be getting artists and such to know that the platform exists and like how it works. So I know the Boombox team is going to, like, you know, refine that a bit more and you know, kind of make it as easy as possible to really do. But yeah, I would say the social engagement piece is probably going to be like the most critical. If you think about, you know, how any other marketplace, you know, does successfully market themselves, and kind of goes that route by like highlighting, you know, artists, you know, up and coming people, maybe like certain regions. You know, I'm not 100% sure. Definitely in the community, like I mentioned earlier, different communities, you know, highlighting individuals that they have that has talent, that, you know, have created items on Boombox and are selling. I think will be quite large. And, you know, really any updates that we do, you know, that people are looking forward to or that other marketplaces don't have, you know, I think could kind of go a long way too by kind of showcasing that, which would be pretty cool. Let's see here. All right, Requiem. Where's Requiem at? There we go. Tier 2, none head traits. You know what? That is a fantastic question, Rec. Let me jump in here. Let me see what we have. Because I will be honest with you, the nuns, I think we kind of put them in a different spot. And I might leverage Brink for this one. The Brink post?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brink showed the Calais. I don't know, Brink, correct me if I'm wrong, do we have a second tier 2 nun? I'm looking through my... Yeah.
Backwards right ahead.
Yeah, I see that. Let me just see if I can find... Alright, here, I've got this. Let me find a Fox I can share it on. Okay, I think I can do this one. I can definitely do this one. Alright.
Hey, General, I got a question.
Sure, what's up?
So, you know, obviously, like, we got the rent things, but what I was thinking, have you guys ever suggested, like, rent to own? So, say, for instance, obviously, only certain foxes can go on each mission each week. So, like, say, if someone had a fox and they put up rent to own, let's say 200K Foxy. Well, then, you know, like someone can put a bid on it, or you know, like sign like a smart contract or something, say like that's the one they want to pay, and then like they'll pay weekly Foxy, but like just like that, they would pay a weekly Foxy until, you know, the total amount is paid, and they could get that box specifically. So, you know, kind of like a rent to own, like you paying for it to pay it off, basically.
You know, that's an interesting question. It hasn't really been something that we've thought much about, just because the renting model beyond using it for a mission gets complicated from a financial side. What I would say is that if anyone is interested in doing a deal to purchase a Fox with Foxy, because I think that's kind of like the main point there, really, is that you can use Foxy on Foxy Swap. You know, that might be controversial because we don't get royalties from it, but you can use Foxy on one side of the deal for Foxy Swap. So I don't know if the rent to own model makes sense, but if you're interested in buying a Fox for Foxy, you can. hopefully that helps. All right, I'll throw mine
Yeah,
up
no,
again.
I appreciate it. To be honest, it was just like, it just something that popped in my head, so I was like, figured I'd ask. But thanks
Sure.
for always answering.
Yeah, of course. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate the comments there. All right, so that was tier 2 head. Let's see here. Let's re-roll. Let me jump to my screen. That's re-rolling. Let's see. Have we changed numbers from 43? That looks about right. We'll see what we get. Number 3. Who's number 3? AIKO. Not sure how you pronounce it, but if you want to give a tier 2 body, that we'll do a little showcasing for. Hopefully you're around. Feel free to throw it in. Yeah, there you go. Mun, why dark turtle tier 2? Like I'm pretty sure that's already been shown. Let me double check. Yeah, dark turtle tier 2 has already been shown. Let's see, where is Aiko? That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Yeah, Aiko. He's not here. Alright, we'll give like another 30 seconds. I know you guys have been pinging him pretty good, but yeah, that might be. Now that is. That's the dark turtle tier 2. Now I know that sets a high standard for like all of tier 2, so I'm just gonna throw that out there too. I do personally think that's one of the best tier 2s, especially for a more common trait. So that's coming directly from me. They're all fantastic, but I think that's one of the better. Must acquire all dark. Yeah, exactly. Alright, I'm gonna skip Ico. Let me hopefully that's how you pronounce your name. I'll apologize if it's not. Let's see, 34, so make me count. Pug, you're number 34 on my list. Let's see what trait Pug would like to see. Ken what?
Okay, sorry, I was trying to unmute myself.
Oh, that's
fine. Yeah, can we see those the bowler hats? Those guys get floored all the time. The beige colored bowler hats. Those dudes.
Alright, so I was hoping that you'd go for a body. Let's see, is anyone against me doing bowler hat instead of a body piece? Brink saying do a body. Let me double check and see what the bowler hat looks like, just to kind of see if I feel like you're gonna be missing out if you pick a body instead. It's not that one. That's the dark one. Okay. Yeah, yep, yeah. So Brink brings up a good point. That's one actually that we have a slate modification request in for. So I'm gonna skip the bowler hat, and if you don't mind to pick a body instead, we'll go with a body.
Okay.
And you can holler at me. I'll take the blame for it, not Brink.
No. I'll pick a red scarf tier 2 from Rec because he tried to get me the backward pink head earlier.
Ooh, okay. All right, red scarf sounds good. Let me see here. I don't know. I'm guessing I see Brink in here, so he might be. I don't know if you're compiling Brink, or I know we need a face for that one. I like this face. This face is fine. So we're just manually compiling. Hold on. Alright, cool. Alright, Brink's gonna be my leaker here. Alright, after so I'm gonna close out of that. So after that, what we'll do is still take any other questions, but then we'll do some fun prizes for those of you that stuck with us. Yeah, so that is the red scarf, tier 2. Alright, good. Looks like you guys like that, so that makes me happy. I like Brink's watermark on it too. You gotta love it. Alright, so let's see here. Let me grab a text document open just so that I can jump back and forth. Actually, someone else can probably keep track of it for me. Let me go ahead and pick 3 people for random chest opening on my side. And again, I'll still take any questions that you guys have. Let's see how many people we have here still. Do we get an extra? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn, we got more people. Okay, so we're up to, what are we at, 47? How many do we have? I'm up to 50. Okay, cool.
Pick me.
Everyone's gonna come off mute and say pick me. Alright, first we got 26.
If you get picked for the free chest, you better be sharing your screen.
Oh, I'm gonna share my screen and open the chest and then send it to them. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Who's 26?
All right, who's 26? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 24. All right, that's Kaz. All right, Kaz is number 1. Let's see who is our next. $44, gonna make me count. That should be 6 up from the bottom, and I think one other person joined, so that's gonna be White Kenyan. So Kenyan is number 2, and our last number is 18. 6 Gwei. Gwei is our last person there. Alright, so that's who we're doing. Now, let me maximize this. Refresh my wallet. Because Phantom's a rug. Alright, now let's see. How do I share my screen? It's been a minute. There we go. Share your screen. About redeemed chests. Alright, let's see. What do you guys see? Drex is opening chests. You guys see my chest page? I see the screen. Alright, so let's see. I should throw up. So Kaz is number 1. Let me just make sure. Alright, cool. 3 chests. Still looking good. Alright, first one. Let's see what we get. What do you guys think? Let's see what you guys think. Rigged, it's rigged.
10 soul for Kaz. Come on,
10 soul for Kaz. And these are regular chests. I should throw that out there. It's not raid chests. So I will apologize. And let's see.
Let's get Kaz to sweep the floor.
Ooh, 601 Foxy. Alright, so 601 Foxy. I love you guys. 601, not even 1.2k. You guys are hilarious. All right, let's do open more chests. So what I will say is, Kaz, just shoot me a DM with your wallet address, and that way I'll make sure I send you over your Foxy. All right, ready for chest number 2. I'm gonna drop it down, make sure it's only gonna open the 1. And what are we thinking this time? I'm thinking 10 soul still.
This is definitely 10 soul.
All right, this is for White Canyon. Even general.
It's gonna be essentially better than anything Kaz got.
Watch it be 600 Foxy. All right, let's see. Chest number 2. Oh, there you go, 904 Foxy. So White Canyon.
That's 1.5x Kaz's. That's unbelievable.
Let me just write that down. 904 Foxy. All right, and let's see.
Alright, Gui's definitely gonna get the 10 soul for sure.
All right, Gui's going for 10 soul.
Come on, Gui.
Oh, I'm getting rugged here. All right, 10 soul for Gui. Are we ready? Dear Lord, baby Jesus. 904 Foxy, what? Gonna tank the order books. You guys are hilarious.
Oh shit! What's this?
Looks like Gui got a 101 Muy Muy.
What the hell, mate? This is rigged.
Yeah, so this is officially rigged reroll. But we do want to do these at least every week for giving out prizes from chests. But yeah, there were several people that had gotten some funds together to get a custom made for Gui. This was mainly Munza's idea for us creating this way of doing it. So, and that's just a little picture for it. It'll be more official sized, but yeah, you get a custom Fox. Yeah. I don't know if I officially have him in a wallet. I don't think Dev sent it to me.
No, so Muy Muy actually has to mint it out and send it to Gui.
Okay, perfect. That's even better because I wouldn't trust me with it.
Poet just posted the final piece in the DAO VC. That's what it's.
There was a slight concern of thinking that you may or may not join in the DAO VCs. So then I was going to have to do this early my time next week, even though I am still planning on doing an early VC next week for some of our more European folk. But yeah, you're welcome.
Writing on it with like Blackpink in the hair and like some references to her K-pop stuff. So shout out to Alexa for giving us that intel as well as I think some others.
Yeah, of course, and really, really appreciate everything that you do for us, Gui. I mean, I'll say it's a semi-thankless job, but it's a small way for the community to kind of show their love. Oh, and yeah, so I guess I can go into like the detail for it too. So like Dev had rigged one of my wallets so that it can only show this up for any chest that I open. So I did have to do a wallet switch there that I'm sure some people had caught on to, but yeah, Dev's a goat, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I'm still open for questions. Let me played it great. I tried. I mean, I was thinking about like how can I make this feel semi-organic. I mean, again, like I said, I do still plan on every VC of doing 3 chests of whatever gets popped in it. You guys will get back. So I think that'll be quite fun. It's not fun for the people that are listening to this recording, but I mean, that's what happens if you're not here. Let's see. Are there any other questions? If not, I mean, I'm just over the hour, so appreciate everyone coming on here. Go ahead.
My only opinion/request here is that we get Dev to record like fuck you, and then we put that on Boombox, and then we also drop chests. Because nothing would make me happier than getting a chest opening up to just Dev cussing me out for like a minute. That'd be great.
That would be hilarious. I mean, It'd be really funny if Dev created like a 500 editions for like one soul each of him just saying "fuck you."
That's all possible, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. Also, Brink, stop flipping. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. Like, I know, like, we have a lot of people that attended this. Like, I would say the same, if not more, on average, that normally attend our VCs. I wonder if it makes sense for us to do either them in here all the time or for the most part. I don't know if you guys have an opinion one way or another for us having VCs in Discord versus Twitter.
I mean, if you
Yeah, you're breaking up, Donnie. Sorry, like Brink posted a robot. That's what you sounded like. People are asking if he's roboting.
I feel like you should keep the. I think like spaces. Me now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's better, much better.
All right. I was saying I feel like you should just keep the chess giveaways for the VC. Just because not like we don't like new people per se, but I feel like obviously you gotta have a Fox to be in the VC, so it's just owe the benefits.
Yeah. No, I think if we were to do this, if I were to do it on Space, yeah, I mean, it'd be really, I guess it'd be a little bit tough for me to figure out the specific people for it, but yeah, I would only do the chest opening for Foxes. I think it makes no more sense. I mean, it's, in my opinion, a small benefit, but for more so the folks that are here attending, which I think is, means something, so I appreciate that. But no, it sounds good. Hear nothing else. If anybody wants, Brink is flipping Foxy. He could stop anytime, but he chooses not to. But yeah, shout out to Gwei. Congrats on your 101 that will be coming shortly. And shout out to everyone here in the community. Really appreciate the love and support. I should mention too, I know that I'm wrapping up the space, but we do still have, we are planning on doing the weekly Questives as it stands, at least for just that base, show the rewards that you get from the missions for that week, and you can claim your 1K fame token. I do have to check the issue that might be going on with Banjo, but I'll get him all sorted, and yeah, we're going to try and make that, a weekly organic ordeal for anyone that wants to earn a little bit more fame, for one of your Foxes, and really to kind of showcase off to Twitter the prizes you guys get. As there are some fantastic prizes that have been going out, so and I believe unofficial alpha that I can throw out to you guys, Dev will post it most likely on Wednesday, but the Four Bears, which is a tertiary collection that Gossip Goblin had created. We do have 25 of those. I think I might have mentioned that in a previous VC. We're going to be including those 25 in the chests coming this weekend. I'm not sure how we're planning on allocating them between regular chests and raid chests. We'll give more information out about that on Wednesday, but those 25 Four Bears will be included in mission chests coming out next weekend. So keep that in mind. Good question. I'll address it as officially that I can. It's more so a partnership. It's not a one lump sum deal that we have with Boombox. So that's where like you'll kind of see, I'll say like a little bit of extra marketing on our side and such, and there is a portion of that is going to the DAO treasury as well. So we do have expenses that are associated with it that I would say are, on a little bit of the higher side, but once those are cleared, at least for the month, then any excess, we have a way of kind of divvying that up. So it's not a one lump sum. the more you shill any of our tools that we post about within our ecosystem, the more rewards ultimately we can give back to the community. That is 100% accurate. And thanks Goblin for sharing a forebear in there. But yeah, that's what forebears look like. They are animated. They're super fun. They've got that Goblin laboratory vibe to them. Yeah, they're pretty fun. If you want to check them out, you can check out our DAO Den. You'll see all 25 of them in there, and maybe next weekend you can possibly win one. Ninaman. Screw you, Brink. All right. Having said that, hopefully everyone here has a great rest of your Sunday night or Monday, depending on where you're located, and we'll chat with you more in Discord, and we'll talk to you next week in our VC next week. So have a great night or a good morning. Thanks everyone for coming.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Good night, everybody.